Cheesy the Podcast, presented by Just Cheesy Productions.
Hi there, I'm your host, Fondue.
And I'm Cheesy.
In this week's episode, we're talking all about great cheese debates.
Ooh.
We're going to talk about pasteurization, grilled cheese, string cheese, cheesecake, mac and cheese, Google, burgers, quesadillas, and more.
Holy cow.
We're going to talk about the science behind chocolate versus cheese cravings. We're going to talk about an assault by block of cheese.
What? Why?
And of course, no episode would be complete without our very cheesy jokes.
I love jokes.
Stay tuned for episode 137, Debate, on Just Cheesy, the podcast. Apparently, pasteurization is a huge debate worldwide when it comes to cheese.
Really?
According to cellocheese.com, pasteurization occurs when raw milk is heated to a high temperature, one that's high enough to kill potentially disease-causing bacteria.
Wow.
And that's what sort of stems the debate,
Really?
because a lot of bacteria, cultures, and enzymes are used to give cheese a unique flavor.
Oh, yeah.
The reason for pasteurization is simple.
Okay.
According to the FDA, the CDC, and other U.S. agencies, raw milk is unsafe when it's consumed by infants, young children, the elderly, and immunocompromised people.
Aw.
And if you're pregnant, you should not consume pasteurized cheese or milk products.
Ooh.
And here's where it gets even more interesting.
Okay.
I thought it was banned all the way across the United States.
Yeah.
And in 1987, the FDA did ban interstate sales of raw milk, but unpasteurized dairy products can still be sold within certain states.
Really?
And apparently, raw milk cheese can be marketed and labeled as raw milk cheese, and it usually is aged around 60 days.
Whoa.
And that's because dangerous bacteria like listeria can't survive past this period. Farmtoconsumer.org actually has an interactive map of state-by-state review of raw milk laws.
Whoa.
For instance, New Jersey is the only state where raw milk cannot legally be obtained in any way.
Wow.
The map shows Oregon, a big chunk of the Midwest, New York, Vermont, and Massachusetts, where they have farm-to-consumer sales.
Okay.
Florida, Indiana, and Maryland have sale for pet food as legal on this map.
Whoa.
The United States actually regulates the unpasteurized cheeses a lot more than countries like Italy and France.
Really?
And in the United States, there are still some unpasteurized cheeses like brie, camembert, feta, gorgonzola, and queso fresco.
Yummy.
Pasteurization can reduce the possibility of foodborne illness.
Yeah.
And if you prefer unpasteurized, do so at your own risk.
Be careful.
Let's settle another debate.
Ooh, okay.
Grilled cheese.
Yeah.
Do you use mayo or butter?
I don't know.
According to AOL.com,
1990 called.
right?
They want their internet service back.
Yeah, they do.
AOL, really?
I know. I didn't know AOL was still around, but this is an article from April 12th, 2024, so they're still around.
Wow. Just wow.
Butter can take on a nutty, toasty flavor.
Yeah, it can.
But there's a little bit of a danger when it comes to butter.
Uh-oh.
It can get burnt very quickly,
Oh, no.
and it can ruin the flavor of what you're cooking.
Aw.
Mayonnaise, on the other hand, is an emulsion of oil and acid, and the egg adds as a binder that brings the two unlike ingredients together.
Okay.
They say here you don't really have to worry about burning milk solids here,
Really?
because the fat in the mayo can withstand high temperatures.
Ooh.
This way you can take the time that you need to perfect the level of brown on the outside of your sandwich.
Ooh.
But then there's another option.
Okay.
They also say here that you could actually use both.
Yes.
They used equal parts mayo and softened butter and spread it on the exterior of the sandwich.
Yum.
They said this was a low-effort, high-reward grilled cheese sandwich.
Yum-y.
We have another debate that's extremely controversial.
Oh, no.
Which is the correct color for cheddar cheese?
Oh.
Is it white
Yeah?
or is it orange?
Oh, no, I don't know.
We talked about this a long time ago in Season 1, Episode 15.
Yeah, we did.
Some say that the orange color is extremely unnatural,
Oh.
but that just isn't true.
Really?
According to allrecipes.com, the natural dyes used in cheese making were ingredients like saffron, carrot juice, paprika, or marigold.
Ooh.
And currently, it's annatto.
Oh, wow.
This orangish red dye comes from a tropical tree called
Oh, no.
the, I'm gonna butcher it,
Yeah, you are.
Achiote tree.
Oh, boy.
And it's one of the oldest dyes known to mankind. It even dates back all the way to the Aztecs.
Holy cow.
This dye comes from South America, but it can be grown in Mexico, Jamaica, Dominican Republic, Kenya, India, and the Philippines.
Wow.
But the reason for the dye is actually pretty interesting.
Really?
Around the 17th century, the majority of cheese was made in England, and the milk was actually golden in color.
Whoa.
This was because cows, or the specific breed like Jersey or Guernsey, had a diet of beta-carotene-rich grass, and the color of the cheese that resulted from using the cow's cream indicated its superior quality.
Okay.
Cheesemakers realized they could make some extra money if they skimmed the cream off the top and sold it separately, or churned it into butter.
Okay.
The result, however, was cheese that was white, and it had less fat and flavor than before.
Oh, boy.
So cheesemakers began coloring their cheeses to indicate quality.
Okay.
And eventually that practice happened in New York, Ohio, Indiana, and Wisconsin.
Whoa.
Dairies in New England decided they didn't like the brightly colored cheeses. So if you're looking for orange cheese in Vermont, you're probably not going to find it.
Whoa.
Vermont cheese manufacturers are not sponsors.
Nope.
But when they are, their ad will go right here. Have you ever wanted to listen to the web?
Yeah.
Well, Newsly makes that possible.
They do?
They're an all-in-one audio super app for iOS and Android.
Super app.
You can listen to trending articles on the web on topics that you choose and get them read to you in a natural human voice.
What kind of topics?
Sports,
Cheese?
tech, business, science.
Cheese?
I'm sure there's even cheese.
Yay.
They even have an entire section for podcasts.
Are we there?
Of course we are.
Ooh.
It's one of my new favorite podcast apps. They even have digital radio.
Holy cow.
Just go to www.newsly.me to download it free.
Whoa.
Or use the link in the description. If you use the promo code CHEESY, that'll get you 1 month free premium subscription.
Yay. Newsly.
Now, back to the podcast. There's another big debate.
Oh, boy.
Do you bite or do you peel your string cheese?
Whoa.
2 student editors at the Algonquin Harbinger have taken up this debate.
Whoa.
On one side, we have Maggie Del Rey. She's on team peel your cheese.
Peel your cheese.
She cites WebMD that eating slowly allows your body to realize you're full before you've already consumed too many calories.
Whoa.
Ben Weber disagrees.
Oh, boy.
And he agrees that the name implies peeling the cheese into strings is the correct method of consumption.
Okay.
But he says biting from the top is actually much more convenient and satisfying.
Whoa.
Let us know how you eat your string cheese.
Yeah.
Back in 2017, there was a relatively large debate about Google's burger emoji.
Whoa.
You see, Apple has an emoji, and they have bun, tomato, cheese, burger, lettuce, and then bun.
Okay.
But Google, on the other hand, has bun, lettuce, tomato, burger, cheese, then bun.
What?
There's a lot of opinions out there, but most of them agree that cheese should be on top of the burger and not underneath.
It should.
Let us know what you think.
On top, of course.
This isn't the only burger debate.
Really?
We talked about this a few weeks ago in one of our American cheese episodes, but is American or cheddar better on your burger?
Oh, yeah.
Now, I personally like cheddar better overall.
Yeah, me too.
But as far as melting into a burger, I have to say, I think American cheese takes the win.
Yeah, it does.
This next debate got me thinking. According to chsperiscope.com, is cheesecake a cake or a pie?
I don't know.
And some of the answers might surprise you.
Okay.
While the name of it is actually cheesecake, it's definitely not a cake, according to this article.
Whoa.
The argument here is that anything with a crumb crust filled with custard and baked is a pie.
Oh.
Cake is defined as a dough or batter that's usually fried or baked.
Okay.
But there's a third option.
What?
It's more than likely a tart.
Oh.
And that's defined as a small pie or pastry shell without a top containing jelly, custard, or fruit.
Yum.
TheKitchen.com asks this question. Do you use a fork or a spoon to eat your mac and cheese?
Ooh.
What do you think, Cheesy?
Spoon?
In 2017, there was a survey of 5,000 adults in the U.S.
Okay.
They asked which way they prefer to eat their macaroni and cheese.
Okay.
71% of adults said they preferred to use a fork.
Whoa.
28% said they use a spoon.
Yeah.
And apparently 1% of responders said they use something other than a fork or a spoon.
Like their hands?
I have no idea. Maybe a spork?
Oh, yeah.
Our next one is the quesadilla.
Ooh.
According to Wikipedia, in the United States, a quesadilla is comprised of a flour tortilla heated,
Okay.
cheese in the middle, and some other ingredients.
Yeah.
It's then folded and served.
Yummy.
But did you know that in Mexico City, quesadillas are not assumed to come with cheese unless you specifically request it.
What?
Now, I think sometimes we have to consider the source here is Wikipedia.
Oh, yeah.
If you're from Mexico City or you know anyone who is, let us know if this is a true statement.
Yeah.
According to mirror.co.uk, the Yale School of Medicine performed a study to find out once and for all if people like chocolate or savory snacks like cheese better.
Cheese, duh.
And I'm sorry to say,
What?
or glad to say, that chocolate has won this debate.
No way.
Their results provided the first demonstration that foods high in fat and carbohydrate are calorie for calorie valued more than foods containing only fat or only
I
carbohydrates.
highly doubt it.
It's time for my favorite segment.
This week in cheese.
According to nationalpost.com, police officers encountered a very irate male
Oh, no.
and he assaulted them with a block of cheese.
Oh, no.
I really can't believe we encounter this so frequently.
Yeah.
It's like a PSA we should be having here. Please stop throwing your cheese at people.
Yes, please.
Don't throw it at cars. Don't throw it at police officers.
Yeah.
Just eat it as intended.
I'm ready for a joke, Fondue.
Okay. Why do cheeses avoid political debates?
I don't know.
Because they're afraid of getting grilled.
Oh.
Get it?
Yeah, that's timely.
It was timely and a little bit cheesy. Thanks for listening to Just Cheesy the Podcast, episode 137, Debate.
Thank you.
We're going to have a couple of polls out there asking you how you like to eat your cheese and the color. Stay tuned for that on our social media.
And stay cheesy, everybody.